There are people that genuinely think that people who use EBT don't deserve soda, candy, or desserts. You're gonna tell me that my daughter doesn't deserve a popsicle? You're gonna tell me I don't deserve to get brownies? You're gonna tell me I can't have Dr. Pepper with my dinner? And all I'm hearing is be grateful, it's free food. Get off of your throne of entitlement and take a look around you guys. Everyone is one bad day away from being homeless or even needing government assistance. Do you guys not see how that makes you look? Your lack of empathy and understanding is outstandingly atrocious. I am so dumbfounded right now.
Why do I suspect that that's not simply a right now problem?
America is doomed. Exhibit B. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster announces new limit on SNAP benefits. He is calling this a common sense clause. You will no longer be able to buy candy, cookies, snacks, and all things they do not deem a necessity on your food stamp card. Y'all picked this, but furthermore, imagine making all this fuss when the average American pays $324 in the food stamps a year. $324. You are making a fuss about a little raggedy $325? Where is your life at? Like $325, you're making a fuss about $325. You've wasted $325 on food yourself, and you probably didn't need it anyways.
Sheer hubris.
We took their snacks! TikTok explodes over EBT rage as South Carolina becomes the latest state to join the junk food ban for EBT recipients. Food stamp warriors are now forced to choose between broccoli and, well, more broccoli. Food stamps just went on a diet, and judging by the outrage, America is about to go cold turkey. Literally.
Some of y'all are so stupid you would put Simple Simon to shame. I want you to ask yourself, why are you so incredibly triggered by the fact that someone can have a bag of chips or a cookie? Why does that bother you so? Because let me ask you a question. People often get mad that people who get EBT benefits buy snack foods or they buy cookies or whatever, but then y'all turn around and get mad that they buy steak and shrimp. Like, do you want them to eat oatmeal and bologna sandwiches? Like, where does the line, like, where is the line drawn? Y'all get on my nerves. Y'all don't want children to have birthday cakes. Y'all don't want children to have treats. Most people on EBT are not going to the store buying a plethora of junk or snacks. They are getting food to sustain themselves. I don't know why y'all are so triggered by this and y'all are celebrating it. It starts with food. It always starts with food. First, they're regulating and telling us what we can and cannot eat. And then it gets worse. But y'all are too stupid to realize it's not about the food. It's never about the food. It is about control. But kiss my butt.
Bye, Felicia.
I think that what the average working stiff that is paying for your food wants to see is for people who are getting food stamps and EBT to eat sensible diets. And it should be on par or slightly worse than what we're eating because we're paying for it, right? You definitely should not be eating better than us. If I can't afford steak and crab legs, then I don't want to see you eating steak and crab legs. But yes, you should be buying and eating oatmeal. How about some cream of wheat, ground beef, chicken, vegetables, fruit. And when it comes to birthday cakes for children, children need to live inside of their means. And if you can't afford a birthday cake for your kid, it is not the end of the world. There are children who are actually starving in other countries, and people here in America are so entitled that they are acting like their child going to bed with a full stomach is some sort of tragedy when they themselves are not even paying for the food.
Announcing this week that South Carolina will see new restrictions on SNAP benefits in the very near future. McMaster says he plans to issue an executive order directing the Department of Social Services to put common sense limits on what the more than 580,000 people in the program are buying in this state. Our Barlise Pimentel talked with public health officials and SNAP recipients about these potential changes. She's live in the studio now. What do folks think about all this?
Public health officials say this is going to impact hundreds of thousands of people. They say being limited to only healthier options is an advantage, but it's not just the limits on food to be worried about. They say SNAP benefits overall will not be easily attainable. People say their power to choose is being taken away.
Trying to dictate what you do with your benefits. When you telling people what you can and can't get, that takes away your freedom.
Tim Wise, a father grocery shopping with his son on Thursday, says he doesn't agree with restrictions on SNAP benefits. On Wednesday, Governor Henry McMaster announcing on social media that an executive order will be put in place for what he calls common sense limits on purchases. It means candy and soft drinks will not be available under SNAP benefits.
They're trying to make them eat healthy, but that's not what the kids want. It's about control, basically. The kids are not going to agree with it. The parents are not going to agree with it.
Yes, it is about control. It's about being a parent and making sure your child has a healthy diet, which is something that the government shouldn't have to dictate to you, because so many people are just not doing what they're supposed to do and letting their children dictate what they eat. Unfortunately, this has gone on so long that now the government feels like it has to go in, and it doesn't help that so many of these food stamp TikTok influencers have been making videos and bragging about food stamps and showing all the junk food that they're buying, and it is making the American public more and more outraged.
These were on sale for $2.49, so they got me the brownie batter in that one. Butter, not the one that I asked for, but we'll take it. I asked them to get 6 boxes of chips. They got 3. I'm not mad. Whatever. Do you. So they got this one. This one. They were $5.99. And then this one. They also got 2 out of the 3 cases of water that I asked for. These were 99 cents. So they got them. They also got mochi, which I told them they could, I had to bribe them. We all know, I had to bribe them. And then I told Anna she could get ice cream, which is melted in the freezer. And that was it. How much they spent, I think, was like $190. Oh, you're probably like, $190. Where the f did that come from? We got more grumblings!
I have never gotten food stamps in my whole entire life, but with this recent inflation, we did have to cut back on what we were buying at the grocery store. And the first thing to go was I'd get the Zevia sodas, but yeah, just luxury drinks. I guess to me, drinks are a luxury. So now we just drink water over here. That's not to say that I won't buy a bottle of wine, but I mean, my everyday drink is just water or tea, but it's tea that I brew myself. It's not the Turkey Hill fancy sugar-filled tea. And there's no sugar. It's just a tea bag and some of that free delicious water that comes out of the faucet. And it's not that I never get crab. I just don't get crab on the regular. It is a bit disturbing for me to see people eating better than I do. It's not better, right? But spending more money on food than I do, but I'm paying for their food. Plus, at the same time, a lot of these people who are on food stamps are also on Medicaid. And if they are not leading the healthiest of lifestyles, then more of their care falls on us, the American taxpayers. If you're going to take the public's money, then the public is going to have a say in how you spend that money. And if you don't like somebody dictating to you what you can and cannot buy in the grocery store, then I suggest you lift yourself up off of food stamps. This whole thing of the children running the household and dictating what they do and do not eat is wild. I remember myself at the age of 18, the first time I ever got to go grocery shopping for myself, I bought nothing but candy and ice cream, even though I was technically legally an adult, and I gave myself a giant stomach ache. And then I said, I'm not going to do that again. and I'm going to go and get actual real food the next time I go out. But I don't know, if I was 17 or 16 or 15, maybe I would have just continued to deal with the stomach ache and not made a better decision the next time I went to buy food. And that's why you can't let kids dictate what they do and don't eat. It's going to be all sugar and it's going to be all junk food all of the time. And I'm sure that's also one of the reasons why we're seeing this giant uptick in juvenile diabetes. That combined with the food not being real food. It's just a bunch of processed garbage.
According to the Department of Agriculture, these 12 states have approved SNAP food restrictions. Public health consultant Dr. Bambi Gaddis says there are several other components that come along with this, and it's not just restricting food.
There are expanded work requirements that are potentially going to go into effect, which may be disconcerting or problematic for some people, especially people who are uninsured.
Gaddis says it all comes from the Big Beautiful Bill initiative from President Donald Trump and his plan for federal cuts. She says people who aren't insured, people who have issues obtaining employment, and undocumented people will be impacted the most.
Good, because if you're not a citizen of these United States of America, you have no business whatsoever being on our entitlement system. You think I can go to Canada and just show up and just get free money from Canada? No. And the idea that people are okay with this is just mind-boggling. This is one of the few issues where there should be universal agreement.
Supports for food will automatically be eliminated. And the last thing that we need in this state are people who are unfed, who are malnourished.
She says more people will go unfed and may still be a liability to the state because they won't be able to provide for themselves or their families.
If you are not a citizen and you are experiencing food insecurity, you can always self-deport. And at this point in time, they're even paying $1,000 for you to go. So go home, eat at home.
Gaddis says the SNAP benefit changes could also create a concern for college students when their on-campus cafeteria is closed.
Given that we're looking at the next generation of leaders, we should ensure that these SNAP cuts do not impact these able-bodied students who are still on parental support, but do not have full access to food, fruits, vegetables, and things that will help them make it through.
Dr. Gaddis says these are some of the biggest questions people could face because nothing is official yet. We won't know everything until Governor McMaster outlines for DSS what the restrictions are going to be and the magnitude of them.
Buy me a coffee link to buy Leroy a dog treat. Leroy, stop that. You're so cute. Oh, I love you. I love you. You guys steal the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Leroy, you're not bored, are you? Leroy, did you know that 9 out of 10 people only watch to see you? Yeah. I'm just kind of here holding space for you. It's true. It's true. Leroy, you're so much fun. You're way more fun than any puppet. Right, Leroy?